So today we're checking out a couple new CIVIVI models, starting it off with the KWAIQ. The KWAIQ is a small, little, super snappy, flipping action knife that has a beautiful Damascus Tanto blade. I believe this is a 10CR Damascus, and this flipper tab is positioned so high. You can see how high it is. It's even higher than the scales. And this is why I talk so highly about the Neferis, the WE Knife Cone Neferis, because the flipper tab's up so high, it allows this thing to just launch out there. It's so snappy. This is even higher than that. So it has good jimping on it, and it is very, very snappy. And it's easy to flip too because it is up so high, so you just got to basically break the detent and it's going to fly. The Tanto has a beautiful, this Tanto has a beautiful Damascus blade on it. Like I said, I believe it's a 10CR Damascus. G10 scales, but it does come in a few different color options. We're going to talk about that here in a second. The access to the lock bar could be a little bit better, but they did open it up for you, so, it's not too bad. It's pretty easy to disengage. This is a very light blade, though, so don't expect it to be, like, fall shut, but it's definitely smooth. Now, it has an internal stop pin, which I love to see. It's my favorite way to do a stop pin. Solid lockup. Deep carry clip that is very deep. It's not inset, but it does have flat screws and it is reversible. Slice is pretty good, but definitely, more of a light duty knife, so it's not something that's really for heavy duty slicing like this. Utility cuts is kind of where it's at, opening things up, just light duty use. As far as cutting a rope, I wouldn't recommend it. It's not going to go well. I can get it, but I wouldn't want to do it more than a couple times. It kind of digs into your palm right there, but it's not that kind of knife, so that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you are cutting something thin, like that piece of cardboard we were cutting a minute ago is nice and thick. If I cut something thin like this, it's going to obviously slice much, much easier. So, the etching should hold up pretty good if you use the whole blade, as long as you're not doing all your cutting in one section. If you try to use the entire blade when you make cuts, as you break that coating in, it should pretty much just blend in, it'll get a little bit lighter. Now, a couple little negatives really quick before we go to the next one. One, I'm not a fan of the scales. I think these are ugly. Maybe the other color options I would like more, but personally for me, this one's just butt ugly. I do not like this handle. Like I said, different color option maybe. I'd love to see it in just plain micarta or something like that, because the blade looks so beautiful, so it just doesn't match to me. The blade doesn't match the handle, in my opinion. Maybe a different color it might. Deep carry clip, I wish was not a deep carry clip. I wish it was just a regular spring pocket clip, because in the hand you do feel it, like it'll get you, because it's so slim right here. So yeah, it's gonna get you. But the pinch grips are amazing, and this Tanto is actually very easy to get to the primary tip, because the secondary tip's not very pronounced. You could probably use it for some things, but the primary tip's easy because of the size. So the pinch grips are amazing with this thing. But as far as like regular slicing, you can do it and it's fine, but you do feel the clip quite a bit. Other than that, the only thing I could really say is, the clip could have been inset. That might have helped it a little bit. It would have maybe, you would have had to have a cutout on this side, so maybe, it might not have looked as good. But yeah, super solid knife. I do like it. I just, I'm just not a fan of the look of it as far as the scales go. I never really liked these patterns like this, the multicolored G10 with like a design. So the next one is an absolute behemoth. Let's look at it next to this guy. I mean, this thing is a monster. And this is the VEXILLUM. Wait, VEXILLUM. the VEXILLUM. So the VEXILLUM has some very grippy G10 scales. I've never seen CIVIVI do, maybe they have and I just can't remember, but this is like a gun grip. So it's got gunner grip G10 scales, and it is done very, very well. Extremely comfortable. I cannot express that enough. This thing is mega comfortable. Very, very smooth on the drop. Super duper snappy with the thumb stud or the reverse flick or the flipper tab. All of them work great. The thumb stud is nice and big. Look at how big these thumb studs are, which look at how far away they are from the handle. So it allows you to really get your thumb in there. Like this one, you would have no problem using this with gloves on. Even the access to the lock bar, you know, they gave you a good cutout, so it's very easy to disengage. Flipper tab in D10, especially for a heavy blade, is great. It has a straight, is it a straight? No, it's not straight. So it's actually got a little bit, just a little bit of trail to the clip point. So it's almost like a straight clip point. If you look, the center of the blade, or sorry, the center of the pivot matches right up with the tip of the blade. So that's going to make for great utility cuts. You know, in plunging it into things, you know, it's going to be right there in the center. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of power behind that tip, whether you're doing utility cuts or poking into things or whatever. Nice big forward finger choil. You're going to be able to slice really good. Pinch grips are going to be great. The blade steel on this one is Nitro V, which Nitro V is a tough steel. So, you know, this is a nice tough steel that has good edge retention and great corrosion resistance. So this thing should be a pretty good little folding tactical knife for somebody. Now, this guy for rope cutting is really good because it's big, the handle's nice and large, you get a nice good grip on it. So, no problems with this guy doing the rope cut. Nice, and it's not the sliciest either. This one's a little bit more on the robust side. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's so big and you have so much control over that handle. Of course it's going to cut good. You know, whether you're cutting down, whether you're doing utility cuts or slicing, it's going to work very well. And you have many positions you can hold it and grip it, you know, to basically benefit you. CIVIVI's coating tends to hold up pretty good overall. You know, after you use it long term in one area, of course the coating, you know, is going to start coming off, but it is pretty tough considering, you know, everything else. It hangs on pretty good for pretty long term. So it's about as good as you can get for the budget. That's what I'll say that. One thing that's cool about this is they actually put a little ramp under here, or a little pad under there, so it actually goes in and out of the pocket a lot smoother than you would think. And that's probably why they didn't put the reversible clip on there, because otherwise, you know, no, they'd have to put that little pad there because this is very grippy. But with that pad, it's smooth. You know, obviously this isn't a hard use knife as far as like really hard using your knife, but as far as just being tough on your knife, this thing would be awesome. You're not gonna want to pry with that tip. It definitely has a little bit of a thinner tip, but you know, you can be a little bit tougher on it. The geometry is slightly robust, but yet slicey enough to where, man, you would have no problem, you know, slicing with this thing all day. I like it. I like it a lot. CIVIVI's been doing, you know, some behemoths lately. They've have a few designs out there that are pretty large, and yeah, I think it's cool. You know, it gives you some variety, especially, you know, with so many small knives. It's nice to see, you know, a nice big knife. Yeah, and these grips, man, TA hardware all the way around. Love to see that. But the gunner grips, feels really good in the hand. I feel like nobody could take this out of my hand. As far as nitpicks and negatives, Man, there's really nothing because everything is so well. Okay, they could have no, they didn't set. Never mind. I guess I got nothing. They could have made a reversible clip, but they inset the clip with flat screws. I don't feel it at all in the hand. I'm trying to think of something that I would say. I would have liked to have seen internal stop pins. I'm reaching here, guys. I'm reaching. It's awesome. I like it, man. Very, very smooth. Look at this. I mean, it's a heavy blade, so you can expect it, but very, very smooth. Super snappy. Yeah, I'm liking this one. This one, you know, I like it. I don't like the handle. So I don't like the way it looks. I like the handle. I just don't like the way it looks. You know what? Actually, let's look at this. Here's the Nefarious next to the, what was it called? The VEXILLUM. VEXILLUM. You can see this has a little bit of a trailing clip point as well. So a little bit similar. This is obviously much larger. Yeah, quite a bit larger. This is a big knife, man. So yeah, awesome, awesome. Look at the two. This is kind of like a budget Nefarious. The We Knife Co Nefarious. This got Knife of the Year for me. What an amazing knife, man. I freaking love this thing. I believe they're still available right now if you guys want to grab one. So anyways, there you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.